Hello, I'm Dr. Irving Cohen, and I'm here to talk about why losing weight seems so difficult. If you've had difficulty losing weight, first of all, don't be discouraged because you're not alone. It is not your fault. And when you feel that other people are looking at you and making you feel like there's something wrong with you, you need to know that the reason you're having a problem is that your diet failed you. You didn't fail at your diet. When you think you're doing all the right things and things don't seem to turn out correctly, well then what do? Do you keep on doing the same things and expect them to be coming out in just the same way? The famous scientist Dr. Albert Einstein had something to say about that. He said that insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. So if you haven't gotten the results you expected doing what you thought was the right thing, perhaps it's time for you to think about changing direction. If you're on a trip and your GPS or your compass tells you you're going the wrong way, what would you do? You would stop, you would take stock of where you are, and then you would probably do a U-turn. But when it comes to dieting, we've gotten bad advice about what the right thing is for the past 30 years. And we've had what we should consider a perfect storm of bad things happening, both in the United States and also in virtually every industrialized country and many of the countries that we hadn't considered industrialized that are growing. And what can we trace this back to? Well, it's a combination of bad advice from the government, chemicals being added to our food that increase our appetite, and a number of other things. So what can we do about it then? Well, first of all, we can say, what is wrong with the diet that we're using? Because all diets seem to make sense. You have to eat less in terms of calories of energy than you burn up in order to lose weight. And if you were to go into an elementary school and ask the children there, they'd be able to answer that question. That seems so simple. Why doesn't it work? Well, unfortunately, like many simple answers, there's a little more to it. And it actually works just fine if you're confined, like our little rat in a cage that the scientists will often work with, because everything is so well controlled. But when you have free will, everything changes. And in addition to how much you eat and how much energy you burn, the most important part of this is, can you follow the diet? And the diets that have been pushed as healthy for the last 30 years have been impossible to follow to enable you to lose weight. So what are we going to do about it? Well, the reason those diets have been impossible to follow is they leave you hungry. And that's something you already know. You've experienced it. You wouldn't be watching this video if you hadn't already been there and done that. The good news is that by using the right combination of food choices, not foods that someone sells you with magical powers, but ordinary foods that you can find in the market, you can signal your body that it is time to lose weight without hunger, and therefore eat the smaller portions and amounts that are necessary. So if you would like to learn more about this, let me tell you, it's not as complicated as the equation on this page. You don't have to go through that, but that is actually something that I developed based on scientific research that had been done earlier in the 20th century to put your body into the chemical state that it normally is in when you have to lose weight. And based on that, I was able to look at the different styles of dieting and evaluate them. And the conclusion that I came to matched the observations 2,400 years ago of the well-respected Greek physician Hippocrates. If you'd like to learn more about the new Hippocratic diet, or if you're a type 2 diabetic, about diabetes recovery using the new Hippocratic diet, we have these books available through your favorite bookstore or publisher. And the good news is that in addition to that, we now have an online course that's available at the website learn2diet.com. That's the number 2. So it's www.learn2diet.com. And you may want to visit that site and sign up for this. It'll take you about 8 hours in multiple sessions. And this will give you the tools to learn to do this yourself. So I wish you the best in achieving better health through the right type of diet.